All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Rakar Kwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. This is going to be a video on how a lot of men are hypocrites when it comes to adultery, right? And you've got this whole red pill community thing, right? And then you've got a lot of these guys that they're always talking about how women are cheating and women are committing adultery and all of these things, right? So then you've had this guy Myron Gaines, who's like one of the top guys of that whole community thing, right? And then you've got this guy that's in the fitness industry, Bradley Martin, and this other guy that does pranks, Vitali. And they've decided to do a show idea where they catch men that are prepared to come and sleep with other men's wives, right? And then what you see on the comment board is that men are getting on them, complaining and saying, "Oh, why are you doing that for?" Right? They're saying, "Why are you trying to catch men that are trying to sleep with other women's wives? You should be catching the women that are cheating on their boyfriends," and that's hypocrisy, man. Right? That's being a hypocrite. Because one of the main things of the whole red pill community thing is supposed to be getting to the truth of what's going on the earth, right? That's supposed to be one of the key points of being so-called red pill. But what you come to find out is a lot of these men that claim to be red pilled and all of that is that they're full of shit and that they're hypocrites and that they are the kind of men that will sleep with another man's wife. Yet they'll also be the same kind of men that will complain that women are cheating on their husbands. But when you actually look at the world from a perspective of a leader, you'd understand that women cannot cheat on their men if there's no men that are willing to cheat on them if there's no men that are willing to do that, right? You can't have you can't have men sleeping with other women's wives if the men have got honor to where they won't do that when they find out that to find out that a woman's married. And what they did is they set up a woman that they set up a woman that's attractive or whatever, and then they used her as bait to try and message men, and then she ended up saying to them, "I'm married. Do you still want to go through with this?" And then what you find out is that the men were still wanted to go through with it, and that some of the men were still prepared to try and come there. And I haven't watched the whole video, and it's not even necessarily about the video. I'm not even too sure if what I said is 100% true that the men did show up, but I tried to filter through the video to see. But I was more focused on the comments, right? And that how men were saying, "Oh, why are you doing this for? Why are you trying to catch the men?" Right? And it shows that a lot of men are full of shit, man. A lot of you so-called red pill men that you want to watch, you want to send in money and all this to these guys like Myron and all these guys. You want to send in money to Andrew Tate and all of that. You're some demons yourself. Because the first chance you get to sleep with another man's wife, you're going to take it and think that you've did nothing wrong. But then you'll also be the ones that are hitting the like button and calling women 304s for sleeping and cheating on their husbands, right? But you'll be the kind of man that helps a woman like that be able to do it. You'll be the kind of person that helps a woman be able to commit adultery. You wouldn't say, "You know what, I'm not going to be the one that you commit adultery with. You'll have to do it with somebody else, but it's not going to be with me." You'll be the kind of demon that's going to think, well, if she wasn't going to do it, she's going to do it with somebody else anyway. So it may as well be me. And that's the mindset of a demon. Right? That's the mindset of a demon, man. But let's read some of the comments anyway. It says, Myron, just stream, bro. Get AMS or Stefan, whatever. Huge L for Myron and Vitali, fool. So they're complaining, right? Check your girl, not man shooting his shot. You see, these people are hypocrites. A lot of these guys that claim to be red pilled and want to try and talk about the alpha male men and all of that, right? They'll be the first one to try and sleep with the next man's wife, and that in their mind is going to add on to them thinking that they're even more of a man. And that's why a lot of people are going to be destroyed, man. Right? The scriptures is clear on adultery. The Bible is clear on adultery, man. But a lot of these men want to try and laugh at these women that can't name 3 countries, right? But then what about you being an adulterer? What about that? For all you hypocrites that got on this comment board and you're trying to get on these guys that they're saying that people are simps for trying to come and sleep with another man's wife, and they are simps for trying to come and sleep with another man's wife. That is what a simp would do. All you men are saying that on this comment board, and I'm going to read some of the comments, but all you men on this comment board that are saying, "Oh, get on the women," right? The women that are cheating on their husbands, right? You think that if you had men that are honourable to ask and check if a woman's got a husband, that they'd be able to do that. If men was not willing to sleep with, like for some of you guys that have had a woman cheat on you, if a man was not prepared to sleep with a woman that's got a boyfriend or is married, she wouldn't have been able to commit adultery on you. Don't you understand that, you dummies? Don't you get that? Right? Check your girl, not man shooting his shot. So here's somebody else. Comments need to chill. How do you know what works and what doesn't if you don't try first? The predators are better. And this would be too if you stuck to cheating girlfriends. And there we go. There's another person. Why should they stick to the cheating girlfriends when adultery is a two-edged sword, right? When you go to the Bible judgment of adultery, it says that the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. It's in Leviticus, the 20th chapter. And you know what? I'm going to get my Bible and I'm going to read it. I'm going to read the law on adultery so that you can hear it, man. Because a lot of you men out there that you want to try and talk about your red pill and that, you're running around calling all these women 304s and all of that. But you're some adulterers, your own self. And a lot of you are hypocrites, man. A lot of you want to try and get on, like, fair enough. Women can need to be born out and told about themselves or the wickedness that they do, right? But a lot of you mans out there, you're some adulterers, man. And you'll be the first one that would sleep with your own friend's wife. Some of you guys, you ain't got no kind of honor anywhere in your body, right? You ain't got no honor at all. You want to try and call women 304s, but they're 304s because men have allowed them to be 304s by sleeping with them. A woman cannot sleep with another man and commit adultery on her husband if every single man is not down to sleep with her because they know that she's married or got a boyfriend. She wouldn't be able to. She wouldn't be able to. Do you understand that? Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 10. And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbour's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So both people are supposed to get judged according to Bible law. Now that doesn't happen right now in this society. But if it did, it wouldn't be just that you catch the woman and you say, oh, she's a 304, she did this to her husband. And that's what happened in the Bible. When they brought the woman before the Messiah, Hawashai, did they not say, oh, we caught this woman in adultery, even in the very act? How did they catch her in the very act? But no man was brought there. The man should have been brought there too. But some of you guys are hypocrites, man. Right, here we go. Here's another comment. This concept is stupid AF. You don't expose the homewrecker, you expose the cheater. Well, that's not what the law that I just read said. It says the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. Not just the woman. Both people, according to the Bible law. Both people are guilty. And that's why you're supposed to watch who you're dealing with out here. That's why you're supposed to watch who you're dealing with, man. But some of you guys, man, that you want to talk about your red pill and that you want to talk about your alpha male because you make 6 figures a year, right? You think that means that you're a man because of how much money you make? No, it don't, right? Because some of you guys are adulterers anyway. Most of the people that are going to get beamed up in the chariots and that are going to escape the judgment to come are not what the world would call rich. They're average salary earners and maybe a little bit more than that and a little bit less, the majority of them. And some of them are going to be mostly considered poor. But some of you guys that want to get on these podcast things and get all up on the comment boards, telling me that they're 304s all the time, a lot of you guys are scumbags your own selves. And a lot of you guys love that women are harlots like this because that's the kind of way, that's the ways how you've been able to get women. That's the ways that you've been able to get women, man. And most of the women in this world are not righteous and are not like meek women. But that's because men are willing to sleep with other men's wives as well. That helps aid the dysfunction of society that we have. So all you guys talking about exposing the women and all that, you know that when you expose the woman that sleep, that you're talking about exposing a cheater, you know that the woman would still have had to show up to a man's house that was willing to sleep with her. You do realize that, right? Even if they did do the show the way that you're saying that they should do it, you know that when the woman shows up to whatever house, she's still going to be exposing somebody else that was willing to do that, right? So it would still be entrapment and all the stuff that you're trying to say if you did it the other way. Both people should be exposed, man. Let's say they was to try and hire some handsome man instead of a pretty woman, and they would have tried to message women and see if they're prepared to sneak away from their boyfriends. You'd still be exposing that's going on. It's the same thing. You're just mad that men are getting caught for some of the hypocrisy that they do, man. And if you want to call yourself a real man and all of that, and you want to think that you're alpha males and all this, and you want to try and be talking about women being 304s, you should be bunning out the men that you've caught on there doing that. Because some of you are like that your own selves, man. Right? Some of you guys are like that. This is pathetic and desperate. Myron is an attention whore. Here we go. Let's carry on reading. They need to try and catch some of those billionaires cheating, not just the average Joes. Why? Yes, the sin's the same sin. But that's what I mean. A lot of you guys are hypocrites, man. You don't want the light to be shined on the wickedness that you've did. A lot of you guys are at work. You're doing your average salaries and all that, and you see a somewhat attractive woman at work, and you're trying to sleep with that woman when you know she's got a boyfriend. A lot of you guys are like that. Or you're trying to sleep with next man's wife and you know that she's got a husband. But you're trying, and then you want to try and say that women are 304s and all that. But that woman being a 304 is allowing you to get some. So you're hypocrites. But if she was a 304, but no man was prepared to sleep with her and make her cheat on her husband, and she couldn't do it, she wouldn't be able to, right? She wouldn't actually be able to get away with doing it because nobody would be willing to. Don't you understand that? Don't you get that? Don't you understand that she'd have nowhere to go to try and monkey branch that some of the terms that you red pill guys want to use? If there was no monkeys, she wouldn't be able to monkey branch. If there's no man with their arms out hanging out for next men's wives and girlfriends as branches, the women wouldn't be able to swing to that branch, would they? If you guys wasn't prepared to do that. So don't be hypocrites, man. Don't be hypocrites and then want to try and call yourself some alpha males and get on comment boards, bunning out women all the time, calling themselves 304s, which the women are harlots and whores. But some of you men love that they are like that. A lot of you men out there, you don't really want a world where there's righteous women. You don't really want that. A lot of you men would rather have women that are actually harlots in this world, man. You ain't the same as the Israelites. We're the ones that really want a world that's righteous. You red pill guys, a lot of you people on the comment boards of the red pill thing, you're full of shit. A lot of you are full of shit, man. You ain't really looking at the world from a perspective of righteousness. You just want a part of this world, right? You just want to be the man that the women are prepared to commit adultery with. That's who you want to be. You don't want to have your own wives. You don't want to have multiple wives. You want to have, just be able to be a playboy in this world. That's what a lot of you guys want to be. You don't want to have multiple wives and become a man that turns into a nation, like what we desire. You ain't got no proper thought processes on how the world's supposed to run. A lot of you guys that are red pill, so-called red pill, you're clowns, man. And when this society falls, all your aspirations and hopes and dreams are going to fall down with it, man. You scumbags. Let's read some more. Man. They should be catching the women cheating on their husbands. What the F? This makes no sense. All these guys probably have done this themselves. So that would make it that they shouldn't expose other people doing it then. So, and that's another comment there. These guys, they don't think that that's nothing wrong. A lot of these guys, when their friends have got girlfriends that they think are attractive, they're trying to overly, that dirty macking and all that, trying to sneak this their friends and their boy. Ha ha ha! Remember when you did this? Remember when you did that? They're trying to push up them. If they know that man's girl is gonna be there, they'll try and spray on the more expensive fragrances, dressing in nicer clothes. You know what I mean? Try and show that they've got money and all this kind of stuff to try and get their friend's woman. We already know what it goes on out here in this world, man. A lot of you guys that you want to think you're red pill and that you're demons. A lot of you so-called red pill men, you're a bunch of demons, man. And this video idea was a good idea, in my opinion. Right? It was a good idea to expose how men are prepared to sleep with another man's wife. But then at the same time, want to try and talk about how women are 304s, but the woman being a 304s is what's making you be able to get some from that woman. So what are y'all talking about? You know what I mean? A lot of you guys ain't been in no relationship with no woman for no long duration of time or nothing like that. A lot of you haven't. You know what I mean? You haven't. But then you want to call women 304s and all of this, but you're hypocrites, man. Because you don't think it's a problem if a woman wants to commit adultery and that you commit adultery with her. A lot of you guys, if there was a woman that was attracted to you and you find out that she's married, a lot of you guys would never in your mind ever think, you know what, I'm going to pray to God that woman that I actually might think is attractive gets removed away from my presence because the temptation to commit adultery, that woman is there and I don't want to do that. A lot of you men would never do something like that in your life, but a Hebrew Israelite would do that though. A man that really is seeking righteousness from the Heavenly Father would have that kind of mindset. He'd pray to God and say, you know what, I don't want to commit adultery. So can that woman be removed from my location, or can I be removed from having to see that woman? So that don't happen, so that I don't end up doing that and then having to get punished by her. But a lot of you guys wouldn't do it. You'll just say, well, she's going to do it with somebody else anyway, so it may as well be me. That's what you'd say. And then you'd try and talk about it like you're not talking about it in a positive way. But at the same time, you'd have a big smile on your face when you're talking about what you did. And you're just trying to start off one of them conversations. Oh, what's one of the worst things that you've ever did? Oh, there was one time when I slept with another man's wife, and then you try and make it like you ain't really trying to praise up yourself to get a hype off yourself, but really you're saying it to try and prove, oh man, yeah, she loved me so much that she was feeling man so much that she was prepared to throw her marriage down the drain for me. You know what I mean? That's how it really goes. And then here's the thing though with a lot of you guys. Now that you've saw that women are prepared to do that kind of stuff, do you ever trust women again, your own self? Or are you now paranoid of your own woman after you've did that kind of thing? Now, when you really look at what adultery actually is according to the Bible, it's when you sleep with another woman that's been with another man before anyway. If your woman was not a virgin when you got with her, really, that is adultery. Unless that man that she slept with before you is dead. Right? Unless he's passed away and she was a widow and all of that, then it's technically considered adultery, according to when you read the Bible and understand the Bible law. But there's a difference between the adultery that I just mentioned there, when you sleep with a woman and she's left the guy and she's not with him no more, versus she's still with him and you're like, man, I'm going to sleep with her anyway because like she's feeling me, so I may as well. There's a difference. Right? This is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Right? You ain't supposed to go around committing adultery, man. But a lot of these guys that want to say they're red pill and they want to talk about women of 304s, laughing at women because they can't name countries, calling women emotional. You guys are sounding emotional in this comment board, ain't you? Right? Want to talk about accountability. Well, what about, shouldn't these guys also be held accountable because they were prepared to sleep with another man's wife? Shouldn't they? Or is accountability only one way for the women? Huh? Shouldn't it? Like you men say that men should be able to have multiple women and all that, right? Well, if men was able to have multiple women, these guys wouldn't have had to drive down an hour to try and commit adultery with that woman, would they? Because they would have had their own women. For all you guys that think that men should be able to have multiple women out there, if they did, they wouldn't have had to take next men's women, would they? So really, when you guys actually talking all this red pill stuff, really think about what you're actually desiring to see in the world. Have you actually even really thought of what world you actually want? If the red pill that you talk about was the overall law of the world, how would it run? Because we know what it's going to look like when the laws of our God, Yahweh, run. We know what we think, but what do you think? What are you saying? What are you guys saying, man? You hypocrites. A lot of you guys on this comment board, you've slept with your friends. You've slept with or tried to sleep with your friends' wives before, man, or girlfriends and that, or you'd even do it to your brother. And I mean blood relative, man, or your so-called brother. That's like in the worldly sense of calling them a brother. You wouldn't pray if you actually saw your friend's wife or girlfriend. You wouldn't be like, you know what, I'm not going to go to that house no more so that I can stop from committing adultery. But a Hebrew Israelite would do that, though. We'd do that. We'd not go to our friend's house anymore. There's been stories about that where Israelites have did that. And to not lie, there's been stories that Israelites have committed adultery, but then they get judged for that. And they get rebuked for that. They get rebuked for if they do that, man. But you guys, and according to the Hebrew Israelite law, you're not supposed to commit adultery. So all of those people that did commit adultery, when they did it, that's not what the Bible says you're supposed to do, though. So they didn't do it because they were Israelites. They did it because they wasn't following the laws that the Israelites are supposed to follow. But when we're under the new covenant, which is what we believe is going to happen to us, according to Hebrews, the 8th chapter, the 10th verse, and Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, 33rd verse, we're never going to do that kind of stuff no more. But a lot of you guys are hypocrites, man. You're full of shit. A lot of you guys that want to talk all this red pill this and red pill that, you're full of shit, man. You ain't real. You ain't really thought about how the red pill, if it was the overall way the world would run. A lot of you guys, if you was red pill and you had the red pill thing, you'd be sleeping with other men's wives. You would see a guy that's got less money than you and you sleep with his wife. And you'd be like, oh, she was feeling me anyway, fuck it. What are you going to do about it? That's what you'd think. You only want to desire to be in a top position so that you can sleep with next men's wives. You're not doing it because you want to have multiple wives of your own that would be virgins. You just want multiple women. Don't care how much of a harlot they are. This is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman, lack of understanding, he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and a dishonour shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away. For jealousy is the rage of man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance. So a lot of you guys are prepared to commit adultery, knowing that a man might now be hunting you down to take your life away. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys would be prepared to do that, man. You wouldn't think, you know what, it's not worth it. A lot of you guys wouldn't think like that. You would think, well, she's feeling me, so I'm going to do what I want to do. And then I'm going to talk about it, boast about it to my friends as soon as I get away. And then you're going to be on a you'll try and get on a podcast, or you're going to do a TikTok and talk about it then. You know what I mean? To try and get your likes up and get your following going. That's what a lot of you guys want to do. Every man desires multiple women, but there's a difference between multiple women, as in multiple wives, and just running around with multiple harlots, man. There's a difference between the way our King Solomon did it and how, I don't know, man, like how one of these like high level men in this world will do it, man. One of these rappers or something like that. There's a difference. You know what I mean? There's a big difference, man. Verse 35, he will not regard any ransom, neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts. So when you guys are down with this adultery stuff, just know that the guys that you've hurt in that way, that brings rage, man. I don't care how much you guys want to try and talk about all that, eye on holes and all this stuff, mate. If your woman commits adultery on you, you're going to be angry. You are going to be. And you'll be prepared to get violent too. A lot of you guys, man. So if you're prepared to do that, then the other person's going to be prepared to do that to you. So all you men out there, man, don't be no hypocrites, man. Fair, okay, yeah, women are 304s and all of that. Yeah, they are. But men are as well in this world are demons that are prepared to sleep with another man's wife. And they ain't all you men complain about the girlhood and the sisterhood and all that. Well, you could make a men one, where men have got our honor amongst men, where we don't sleep with another man's wife, even if we don't like the guy. The guy could be our worst enemy, but we got the honor that, you know what? And in fact, it's not even about the man. It's about what the two founding things of the law of God are. Love Yahweh with all your heart and with all your soul, right? And then of course it goes, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But when you're loving Yahweh with all your heart and with all your soul, well, Yahweh said don't commit adultery. So then you're not going to sleep with another man's wife, even if he's your enemy. And then when you're loving your neighbors, you love yourself. Well, then if it's your own people from your own nation, well, then you're not going to do it to your own people because you won't want to hurt your own people because you know how you would be hurt if that happened to you. But some of you guys out there, man, you ain't got no honor among any part of your body. You're a bunch of demons that can't be trusted around people, man. You ain't worthy. You ain't worthy to be made friends. A lot of you people, you'll be envious and covetous of anything that another man's got that you ain't got. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna see a man with something that you ain't got, or be 1 inch taller than you. You know what I mean? Have a little bit more muscle mass than you, some small mean, or be smart, more intelligent than you, have more faith than you, and you ain't gonna just accept that because you're demons. Whereas among the Hebrew Israelites, right, we can accept that there's people that are higher ranked than us, man. We can accept it because we accept first of all that we've got a Messiah that's over us. We accept that, and then we accept that there's a hierarchy among the brotherhood. But a lot of you people are demons, man. And you ain't got no honor. A lot of you people that you want to send in money to Myron or to Bradley Martin and all that, and to Vitali and all these guys, Sneeko and all these podcasters and streamers and all that. If you got the chance to sleep with these guys' wives, even though you some kind of way idolize these guys, you'll do it. Even though you look up to these guys, you'll sleep with their girlfriends. if you got the chance, because you're demons and you don't really like these guys that you look up to. You kind of really envy them and want to try and see if you can take their lives, man, because you're a bunch of demons. That's what it really is with a lot of you fake red pill, fake alpha males out there, man. You're not alpha males neither. A lot of you fake red pill people, you're a bunch of demons, man, straight up. A lot of you are demons. You're getting on these guys for doing a video exposing men that are prepared to sleep with other men's wives. Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they do that? Huh? Why shouldn't they, man? If the women can get exposed, why can't the men? Are you men lacking accountability? Exodus chapter 20 and verse 17, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. So you ain't supposed to get jealous of anything your neighbor's got, right? Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. You don't watch the next man's woman. Get your own one, man. Get your own. And if you are out and about in the public and you see a woman that's attractive and then you see that she's got another woman, I mean, you see she's got a man, well, then you made a mistake and you can look away now. You don't need to carry on looking at her and get into a fight in public because you're like, well, my eyes can do what I want to do. How about you don't? How about that? How about that sometimes, man? Because a man can't trick his mind into thinking that a woman's not attractive if he sees that she's attractive. But there's a difference, man. There's a different way how you can do things than the way that you guys are doing it, man. Nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbour's. You ain't supposed to watch up what other people have got too much all the time, man. You ain't supposed to, right? Now, to a certain degree, you can kind of be like, okay, I didn't know that life could be like that to a certain degree. But ultimately, you're supposed to be focused on your own portion and pray that Yahweh gives you your portion, man. And really, right now, we should be praying that Yahweh gives us a space on the chariot. But a lot of you red pill guys, you don't know nothing about that. You don't know anything about what I'm talking about when I say stuff like that. But we're supposed to be, if you're an Israelite, if you're a so-called Black, Latino, or Native American person, or your father is or your father is one, right? Meaning that you're one now. Then you're supposed to be praying for the salvation from the day of darkness that's coming upon the earth. That's what you should be hoping for. Because crazy times are coming right now. And on that, I'm going to end the video. Shalom to the elect to the nation of Israel. Shalom.